Good afternoon, everybody. It is Wednesday, July 17th. Hope you're doing well. Going to get started with the before market close video and ticket requests. If anybody does have any requests, as always, please let me know inside of the community. All right, so taking a look at the crypto space, we are pulling back a little bit here after getting pretty heated. So we're just consolidating on Bitcoin below 65,000. We had IWM today. We had the Dow Jones that was super bullish today. While SPY was consolidating, and then we started to see some weakness on IWM and a few of our other sectors. XLF, the financial sector, was very strong today as well. So generally what happens is you'll start to see rotation. So when SPY was pulling back, we saw rotation into names like XLF. We saw IWM strong, Dow Jones. So when that happens, you just need to look for other names that are, kind of small cap or names that haven't run to run, right? So when SPY was pulling back, it had a lot to do with QQQ. So the tech stocks were pulling back more than others. Therefore, money was just rotating. But if multiple sectors are pulling back at the same time, even Bitcoin started to pull back around the same time, we started to see that weakness in SPY, and that coincided with a pullback in IWM as well. So we'll take a look at that here in just a moment. But that was to be expected on Bitcoin. We don't have any support on the daily time frame all the way down to 56,500. So we will expect a daily high or low at some point soon. We could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, but wouldn't be surprised if we did start consolidation in the next day or two. Come back down, back test that around 61, 62,000, and then look for a healthy high or low, and then resume higher from there. But as of right now, we're still just waiting for that monthly bull flag to confirm, which will bring up this chart here. So yeah, anything over 55,474, that 0.32 fib, which we did hold, it ended up being a bear trap in my opinion. And we'll look for that monthly bull flag to confirm. IWM confirmed the monthly bull flag as well, which usually shows that tracks all of the small cap stocks. So that shows risk on in the market, and obviously Bitcoin is a very high risk asset. So the fact that that's happening, confirming the monthly bull flag in the footsteps of the S&P 500, increases the odds that Bitcoin's going to do it as well. And XRP has been showing a lot of relative strength lately, and if you do XRP BTC, you can see here we're finally bouncing on the monthly time frame. That was 8 months of just lower high every single candle and bleeding out. We were weekly oversold as well. So as soon as we broke the high of the previous monthly candle, that was a nice signal to go long on XRP versus Bitcoin, because it generally shows that it's going to be outperforming, right? Because it's denominated in Bitcoin, so it just shows the strength, relative strength to Bitcoin. So we could easily see another few months of upside from here on XRP. And I'm thinking into the end of the year, beginning of 2025, XRP is going to absolutely melt faces. In terms of movers and shakers on the day today, XRP, no surprise there, leading the bull list. We have GMX and Sologenic token. Also, a lot more speculation that we could potentially see a settlement with the SEC and Ripple tomorrow. It seems like every time you turn around, there's speculation of a settlement. At this point, I think that is a very highly probable scenario. But until it happens, no need to speculate what it's going to be, but I do think that's the most likely scenario. SHIB, Bitcoin, Cash, and Solana leading the decline today. So we'll take a look at the S&P 500. So we did start daily consolidation, and we're seeing a little bit more selling pressure now. And we're looking at EMA 12 coming into play, and we basically hit it today. We have EMA 12 at 556.27, the low at 556.61. So it had been a while since we tested it, but it has been nice, strong support here. So just kind of riding that wave off daily EMA 12. If we close a candle below that, we do have EMA 26, which we've yet to test since all the way back here at the end of May. And that's sitting at 549, so that 550 psychological. Wouldn't be surprised at all if we did come back and back test EMA 26 on this pullback. So that would mean brace for a little bit more downside in some of our individual names. We're also seeing the DXY drop to lower lows. So that generally is not the case. Generally, DXY and SPY run inversely to one another. So the fact that that's happening tells me look for rotation. So looking for some other names that might be showing some relative strength and rotation into that. Silver confirmed a daily downtrend, and it was actually a head and shoulders here with the left head, right shoulder confirming. And then EMA 12 and 26 bear cross looks like it's heading to daily oversold. So wouldn't be surprised if we came down around that $29, $28 area on silver. But it's down over 3% today. So gold was bouncing, breaking to a daily higher high. So a little bit of money rotating into gold. You can see here we didn't lose the low of the previous candle, but we are pulling back a little bit. So let's look at some of our other sectors. So you have XLV, healthcare breaking to a daily higher high, so showing quite a bit of relative strength. Financial sector, XLF breaking to a daily higher high, so kind of going against the grain here. Same thing with the energy sector. Home builders ETF, daily inside bar, but no daily consolidation. Biotech, daily consolidation. So IWM, semiconductor as well. Yeah, really getting hit. QQQ, really getting hit as well. So tech and semiconductors, no surprise there because they've been running super hot and like they do for a pullback. NASDAQ as well, daily consolidation. So IWM. So yeah, we started the day off strong with a bounce on the daily time frame, broke the high of yesterday and then got some follow through, but then we started to pull back and that's why the whole market, including SPY, is pulling back today. Dow Jones is pretty strong though at the moment, near the high of the day. So until all sectors like financial, healthcare, biotech, SPY, QQQ, and when all those are dropping to daily lower lows and hitting new lows of the day, that's when you're going to expect really big sell-off momentum and sell pressure, right? So we just didn't see that. We continue to see the rotation. WNW, VEGA, and JSDA leading the bull list today in terms of individual tickers. We have CODE, MVMD, and SNAP leading the decline. Canadian MJ. Actually, I do want to check in on INSG here real quick. Yeah, this thing's been on an absolute tear. Up almost 800% since late January. Crazy. It's a 5G play, wireless company. Canadian MJ. So we did have a decent reaction there to begin the morning. We saw a little bit of green across the board. CGC up about 2.45% at the moment, but from yesterday's close to the high of the day today, we were up almost 8%. Started to pull back with the broader market, but gearing up for an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, so it's not looking too bad. We had Oxy, IMCC, and ACB leading the decline so far. PWR, WIB, and Labs leading the bull list. USMJ, we've got TAT, RWB, and CXXI on the green, and then in the red we have LOWL, IN, and TSND. MSOS, so same deal. Broke to a daily higher high today, and then from the close of yesterday to the high of the day, we were up about 3.25%, so 3.25%, but now back right around where we closed yesterday, but still gearing up for an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. So it's looking like the sector is gearing up for some momentum here. And what's this week? The end of the comment period. So next week we begin the week with the potential of news from that front. So we'll see what kind of response rate it was, right? We're 96%, 95% of them positive. I guess, yeah, let's take a look real quickly at that too. Marijuana public comments. Where is it? So 31,792 comments currently. I posted my comment as well, so if you haven't done so already, make sure to do so before the cutoff time. All right, jumping into some tickers. Just checking in on the news here as well. I know we had quite a few users joining the community, so welcome. If anybody does have any questions or anything like that, don't hesitate to shoot me a message in the chat. But one thing I did want to mention to people as well is just make sure that you're using Threads. I know it's a little confusing to start a thread, so I'll do a test here. So if you're going over to Market Cannabis, we want to, if it's cannabis related, you want to post in cannabis. If it's crypto related, you want to post in crypto. That's simple enough. But if you want to start a thread on, this is the desktop app, it'd be the same on the web browser as well, but I use the desktop app that you download and install the application on your laptop. So all you do is just hover over it. You can right click and then can you do, yeah, reply in thread, or you just hover over this little dot here, reply in thread, or sorry, no, if you do this, you have to hit reply in thread here if you hover over it, but if you right click it, reply in thread. If you're on the mobile, because you can't hover over it, you just have to press and hold with your finger, and then it'll come up with the menu saying reply in thread, and then you just reply under there, and then that way, there's a multitude of reasons why we do that, because if you don't, then what happens is it convolutes the main channels and it's hard to find things. And also some people have alerts set that if you, and you can do emojis and everything like that, but some people have alerts set that every time you send a message to this channel, it dings their phone, right? So you don't want to keep doing that every time. If it's a thread, then it only dings their phone once, and then if they want to comment in that thread or track it, they can do so, but it cuts down on the amount of notifications that people get as well. So appreciate your cooperation there. All right, jumping into the ticker request. So Everett wants to look at Fubo and the NYSE, wanting to add. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that's a great way to phrase it, right? The ticker, the symbol, ticker symbol, you got the exchange, and then what you're looking to do, right? If you want me to give you just my honest, unbiased opinion as well, if it's bullish or bearish, that works as well. But yeah, Fubo TV Inc. We'll take a look here on the daily time frame. So it looks very similar to some of our ETFs that we just looked at. Broke to a daily higher high. Kind of some of our MJ names, you know, we're up 8% from the high of yesterday, 8-9%, and then pulled back. We're right around the same high as yesterday. Or sorry, we're right around the same close as yesterday. But at the moment here, nice strong daily uptrend. We have our low, high, higher low, and higher highs. Once we broke 135, that confirmed the daily uptrend after being in a daily downtrend. So we're approaching. We would have hit daily overbought there as well today on the RSI, and then once SPY and all those other sectors started to pull back, that was a little bit of a clue that we were more than likely top out. And then on the weekly time frame, we topped out right exactly at EMA 26. So 158 is EMA 26, and the high of the day was 158. So right to the penny, coming off weekly oversold. And we did have price action resistance at 169. So yeah, 162, 169. So a lot of price action resistance, and we had EMA 26 as well. But in terms of the weekly time frame, we did confirm a weekly uptrend as well with the low, high, higher low, and higher high. So that means zoom out to the monthly and look for the monthly bounce to be underway. And that's exactly what happened. We're breaking the high of last month. So again, when you're bouncing, you're breaking the high of the previous candle. When you're consolidating, you're losing the low of the previous candle. So if you're on the daily time frame and you confirm a daily uptrend, that means zoom out to the weekly and look for the weekly bounce. If you're on the daily time frame and confirm a daily downtrend, that means zoom out to the weekly and look for consolidation, losing the low. And then same thing with the higher level time frames. So if you're on the weekly time frame and you confirm a weekly uptrend, which we just did, it means zoom out to the monthly and look for the bounce, which means we'd likely expect a break of last month's candle. And that's exactly what we're getting. Yeah, so 169 key resistance here in the short term. After that, we have a lack until about 382, and EMA 12 there at $2. So $2 psychological. But in terms of the monthly time frame, we had our high there at 387, and then a lower high at 382, and that confirmed the monthly downtrend. So as of right now, we're still in a monthly downtrend, just anticipating a monthly lower high compared to 382 here on this bounce. And then we can even take our fib tool there, and if we don't get above the 0.32 fib there at 218, it's a monthly bear flag. So that's going to be key resistance to get over here in the short term. Move it over to our 0.32 fib, and it's saying we could be targeting 61 cents if we confirm. So key support is going to be 110, $1 psychological. Wouldn't be surprised if they came back down, tested that, and saw a flush below $1. But like I said, 218 key resistance to break that. We're no longer expecting a monthly bear flag, but if we fail to get above that, come back down, lose support there at 110, then we'd more than likely be expecting 61 cents, 60 cents there on the bear flag target. So hopefully that helps. If you're looking to add, I'd probably wait maybe close to that $1 area. And you could even go a step further and tell me like, oh, I already own some, my cost basis is this, and then this is what I'm looking to do. But yeah, weekly time frame, we're blasting off here on the stochastic and the MACD, so that's a great sign. We want to see another candle close over that 10-week moving average at 126 this week. So, not a bad idea if you don't own any at all and you want some exposure. Well, if we just zoom out here, if we go from the highs of January 2021 to current levels, we're still down 97%. So it's kind of like a MJ stock, right? Not a bad idea. If you don't have a position already, you could start to scale in a little bit now. Maybe wait for a pullback to 130s, 125, and then add a bit there, add a bit closer to $1, and then add a little bit sub $1 as well. Yeah, we got a lot of resistance there at just over $2, all of our weekly moving averages. And then on the daily time frame, I assume we had a death cross yet. 50 above the 200 crossed, and then when that cross price was at around 245, and then we dropped down to close to $1 off after that death cross. So And then the 200-day moving average there at 208. So yeah, a lot of resistance there at that $2 level. But the level to break is going to be that monthly level there at 218. Break that, we're no longer expecting the monthly bear flag. So hopefully that helps. All right, XRP and QQQ for Reza, no problem at all. So we'll take a look. I'm actually going to do an XRP video a little bit later on. So maybe I'll save that for that video and I'll post that one. Just because I know a lot of people were asking for that one. And I don't have a ton of time today. So I'll do that one for you a little bit later on, Reza. QQQ, so monthly higher highs. So we're still no major red flags whatsoever. We're still in a very strong monthly uptrend. Anything above 412 is a monthly higher low on any kind of consolidation. 14 days left in the month this month, so I wouldn't anticipate us to start monthly consolidation this month. We'd have to lose 447. I could see it happening next month though. So no major red flags here from a longer term perspective. We did start weekly consolidation. Again, that just means we're losing the low of the previous candle. So we did have a weekly bull flag and then another weekly bull flag. So support there at 473.82. That's the next level to look at. And then we have EMA 12 there at 470. So a lot of support around that once for that 470. And then EMA 26 is sitting at 450. So nice round psychological number as well. And we do have a price action level there at 442. So somewhere around that 440, 450 if we do lose that 480, 470. But no major red flags here on a weekly time frame either. We did hit weekly overbought and monthly overbought. So yeah, I wouldn't be touching tech with a 10-foot pole at this point. I'd be very, very cautious. We could be heading to daily oversold, daily downtrend confirmed with the high, low, lower high, and lower low. So that was a nice short opportunity as well. Once we lost 490.73, that confirmed the daily downtrend and weekly consolidation. If you went short there, that's a short of about 1.7%. And if you went long, say SQQQ, which is a 3x inverse leverage, you could have went long around that same time, and you would now be up about 8%, right? That's kind of the option that you have with SQQQ. I wouldn't hold like SQQQ or SPXS for long times because they have built-in decay into them due to option exposure to get that extra 3x leverage. So I just keep that in mind. But yeah, QQQ could be heading to daily oversold here. EMA 12 and 26 bear cross lining up. Again, no major red flags from a longer term perspective. Like I would say, maybe medium term would be the better. Longer term, is usually like a 6 months to a year plus. I'd say medium term over the next, several months, looking okay. Short term, not looking that great either. And we just had a stochastic bear cross. MACD's starting to cross bearish potentially here. And we do have the 10-week moving average there at 473. So a lot of support in that mid 470s. Weekly time frame, we did get pretty extended from our weekly moving averages. So it'll just be a matter of time, right? We're definitely going to come back down and come back down to earth and test that around 416, that nearby one, which is the 50 weekly. But I wouldn't expect us to go straight there or anything. I would more than likely expect a pullback in the monthly time frame, then a monthly lower high, then a monthly lower low. And that would more than likely confirm the bear market and the bull market being over if we confirm a monthly downtrend with a lower high, lower low. We also have the 50-day moving average there at 468.99, so 467. So like I said, a lot of support in that 470 area. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we did come down to that 470, formed a daily lower high, maybe even come back down to 450, and then we resume into the elections potentially. But I would expect a pretty big pullback before the elections, and then leading into November, maybe we come down 450, and then leading into November, we start to trend back up, and then see a Santa Claus rally, and then some spillage into 2025. And then I think, first half, maybe first quarter, first half, I think for sure, we're really going to start to see selling pressure mount. Let's take a look at Kira for Leisha. Yeah, no problem at all, Reza. Like I said, I'll do a video on XRP. I was planning on doing it anyway, so I'll do a detailed analysis there, a specific video for that. So we'll take a look at Kira on the TSX. So daily uptrend confirmed, low, high, higher, low, and higher, high. And EMA 12 and 26 bull cross lining up. It's actually a bull flag by the looks of it. Way too much stuff going on here, so let's delete that. Yeah, it was a daily bull flag. Perfect, actually. We held that 551 level to perfection. So as long as we held that 0.32 fib, and the low there was 552, so it was perfect. And then we take our measured move there from the daily bull flag, and it's saying we're targeting about 648, so we'll say 650 psychological. And we do have a level there at 647, and then 663. So yeah, should be targeting 650 here. Looking pretty decent. Weekly time frame, we should be bouncing on the weekly because of the daily uptrend confirming, and that's exactly what we've been seeing. Bouncing for the last couple of weeks. Could be gearing up for an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well on the weekly. which is looking really good. So I would expect some pretty decent news here into next week after the rescheduling comment period is over. And I did post over in the Market Cannabis channel about some more information on JD Vance. So if you haven't seen that, you can check it out. But yeah, monthly time frame still below the last month high, which is at 647. So again, a lot of resistance there at that 650 area. And we are bumping our head here at the 10-week moving average. So that's at 596, right on the money, where we are now. Just had a stochastic bull cross, so that's a great sign. Usually that crosses first, then it closes above the 10-week moving average. Then we get the MACD cross, and then follow through to the upside, right? So it's looking like we could be seeing 650 here pretty quickly over the next week or so. We're also having a bull cross of the 50 and the 100 weekly moving average, which is very bullish, but we're still bumping our head. We also have the 50 weekly there at 597, so we have a lot of resistance there, but get above $6 with follow through, then we're probably heading up to around that 650 in a hurry, like I said. Daily time frame, we could see a death cross though, and then we have the 100 day moving average at 650. So yeah, a lot of resistance there at 650. Still a bit away before we see those that death cross, the 50 and the 200 day moving average cross. When the shorter term, the 50 is above the 200, the longer term, and they cross, that's a death cross, bearish. And then on the flip side, when the 50 is below the 200 and they cross like this, that's bullish. See, upside, bear cross, downside. So as of right now, it's still a couple, 20 cents away before we see those cross. So, we could bounce to around, 625, 650 is what I'm thinking. See that daily bull flag target reached, and then see a ton of resistance there around that 650, and then see that death cross follow through for one more potential leg down. That's what I'm expecting. But we could see some news with regards to rescheduling the end of the comment period. Could be some bullish news, get some momentum after that. But then I think we'd see one more potential flush down. And what would that be caused by? Well, more than likely a pullback in SPY, because SPY is getting really overextended here. Hasn't really seen daily oversold. The last time we were daily oversold was back in April, and we didn't even really print it. We came close, but wouldn't be surprised if we did get to daily oversold soon. And then IWM is also running a little hot as well, which usually shows that risk on appetite for small cap stocks, and MJ small cap, very high risk, right? So, probably due for a pullback down to around 211 on IWM. So I don't think it'd be anything sector related, more than likely be like a broader market type of scenario. We got high tide on the TSX Venture. So dropping to a daily lower low today. So as I mentioned, there was bear flags on this one galore. We had one here and another one formed. So where was it? Yeah, here. So we had a bear flag there. Anything under 321 was a lower low. And then you take your measured move there from the high to the low, move it out, and it said we were targeting about 263. And then we had this bounce here to the low there, another weak bounce. Anything under 289 was another bear flag. And then now it's saying we could be targeting 248, so 250, which we did hit 253. So the bottom could very well be in. We did hit daily oversold. So again, very similar to MSOS. So again, if you don't own MSOS, well, if you weren't looking at this, we had a daily bear flag target of 686. It actually hit it, and then some. It hit 680, and we hit daily oversold. So high tide is just following in the footsteps, and this is the NASDAQ, but it's all the same. We're just seeing those daily bear flags, and now we're just hitting daily oversold. So MSOS was actually technically weaker, quicker, but it tracks all the major names in the US. So it was a good indicator and clue that we were probably going to see more downside continuation and daily oversold on high tide. And back here on our first bear flag, we were nowhere near daily oversold. So that meant that, we could see another bear flag and downside based on daily oversold yet being met, right? And that's exactly what happened out. So hopefully that makes sense. HITI here. What would that be? .to or .v, right? Yeah, and then we closed below the 10-week moving average. We had stochastic and MACD bear across. So we had a clue about a month ago that we could see some big selling pressure on the weekly time frame. And then our moving averages, we did have the 50 weekly there at 248, and we're testing that now. So lose that 218 next support there at the 100 weekly moving average at 218. Daily time frame, I think we had a death cross as well. No, not yet, but we're losing the 200-day moving average, and the 200-day was at 257. So a lot of signs pointing to the fact that we were going to be heading down to around that 250, 240, and that's exactly what we got. So like I said, I would expect a little bit of a relief rally into next week. And kind of when SPY's been going down, we've been seeing some rotation. As long as IWM and some other sectors are still healthy, generally MJ will go up because it shows rotation. But if, IWM, like I said, all of the sectors, all the major sectors are dropping, then MJ is probably going to drop with it unless we have some specific news that lifts us up, right? So hopefully that helps. Also curious about SNDL. If you have time, I think it's worth a look. Yeah, we can take a look at that. So yeah, they just had that news about Delta 9 and Indiva. So yeah, it's pretty strong here at the moment. Daily uptrend, kind of similar to what we just discussed. It hit its bear flag target, not quite daily oversold. So it is showing some relative strength. We just had a daily EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, daily uptrend, low, high, higher low, and higher high. EMA 12 and 26 bull cross follow through. So this one's actually a bull flag now. So you go from your low to the high, get your measured move. You go from low to the high of the bounce, move that out to your 0.32 fib. And we have our measured move of 248. So it would match Canadian high tide price, essentially. So yeah, it's looking like we did confirm it as well with we had the low, high, the bounce, and then higher low, and then higher high. So we hit 226 and the target is 248. So we could still see another 10% of upside from here. So this does increase the odds, like I said, that into next week, the end of the comment period, we could see a little bit more of a relief rally and some upside pressure. And then weekly time frame, bouncing on the weekly as well. We did hold the weekly uptrend, so this could be a head and shoulders forming. Left, head, right. And, 248, 250, that would bring us somewhere around that same level as the left shoulder. So that's a potential as well. And then one more potential leg down could happen. And that, again, would more than likely be caused by a broader market sell-off, right? So we know we're pretty overheated right now. And we have to be ready for any kind of geopolitical event going on as well. It's election year, so there could be a whole lot of messery going on. Monthly time frame. So yeah, monthly uptrend, high, low, low, high, higher, low, higher, high. Now we're just looking for a monthly higher low. And we're actually right on, yeah, we did break the high of last month by 1 penny. So it's pretty strong at the moment. Back above the 10-week moving average, we're gearing up for a MACD bull cross. We're seeing a bull cross of the stochastic, so that's usually what we want to see. So yeah, SNDL definitely one of the stronger names in the space at the moment. And we could see a 50 and 100 weekly moving average bull cross. But still a ways away before we see those cross. So again, increases the odds that we could see a right shoulder here in this head and shoulders come back down to around 175, 160, maybe even 150, depending on how big of a sell-off we get in the broader market, right? Because that's more than likely going to be what it is. I can't see it being anything too, like we can see opposition, FUD, all that kind of stuff with regards to rescheduling, and nothing really has dropped us that much. And in fact, we've kind of been bouncing. So, and I think that has a lot to do with IWM. But if IWM, SPY, QQQ, Bitcoin, all the sectors start to drop, financial, biotech, healthcare, you name it, they're all dropping and seeing a sustained sell-off, then MJ is going to follow too, right? And we do have the 200-day moving average at 173. So yeah, 170 to 150. I'm not ruling out one more final drop to that level. And then on the monthly time frame, anything over 130 is just a monthly higher low and a monthly uptrend. So we could drop to 150 and still be extremely healthy. Are you going to cover Tesla earnings? Think it's time for me to further diversify my portfolio. Love Elon. Not sure why I'm not invested. Well, yeah, I'd be very cautious. Like tech is looking like it's going to be entering a massive bear market. Maybe not right now, but yeah, I would have tried to get it closer to 100. We did hit 138 there a few months ago, 101, right? So now we're almost at 300, so we're not that far away from all-time highs. So I'd just be very cautious on this one. But yeah, I'll probably catch their earnings. I'm going to be interested to see when they report. Interested to see what their Bitcoin holdings are. And then also see if they added any other holdings. I don't think there's any. Yeah, Tesla earnings is got to be next week, I think. But I'm going to be in PEI as well. So we'll see how it goes. Just checking in on the news here. All right, not seeing anything else at the moment. What did SPY close at? 556, low of the day, isn't it? Yeah, that's not great. That's not a great sign at all. So lose 556, probably heading to 550 tomorrow. Could even see a gap down into tomorrow potentially. All right, going to end it there. We'll see everybody in the chat room in a little bit. And like I said, I'll be getting an XRP video out and maybe a couple others as well. All right, have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.